Have you ever heard of Émile Cohl? If not, don't worry. I'm here to correct that error and fill you in. He was a French caricaturist at the turn of the 20th century, and he is the father of the animated cartoon. Hello friends and family, I'm Tanner, and I'm excited to tell you about the Frenchman Émile Cohl. The story goes that in 1907, when motion pictures were young, Cohl saw a poster advertising a short film that used one of the caricatures he had drawn as a part of the advertisement. Enraged, Émile marched down to the studio that produced the advertised film, and he gave the manager a piece of his mind. In return, the manager gave Émile a job as a scenarist, which is basically a short story concept artist. That's how the story goes, but the story is probably mostly false. But it is at least true that in 1907, Cohl began working in the film industry as a scenarist. Not only was he responsible for pitching story ideas and drawing them out for the studio, but he also helped work on the visual effects. At the time, visual effects sometimes were literal drawings on the film itself of these old silent pictures. He would produce 4 animation sequences per month to be inserted into these projects. While he was working at the studio, a competitor released The Haunted House, a wildly popular short film about a house where the different objects started moving on their own and little people came in and moved things. People were fascinated and captured by how did these people do this? How did they make these objects move on their own? What they had done today would be considered basic stop motion, but at the time it was revolutionary, and it showed that there was an audience for longer form animation, and thus it proved that animation could be profitable. Cohl studied the film frame by frame to improve his own technique, and in February of 1908, he began to work on his animated masterpiece. He worked on that piece for 4 to 5 months. He drew the frames of his scene in black ink on white paper, but he shot them with a double negative to make it look like chalk was coming to life. When finished, his short film comprised of 700 images, and when released in August of 1908, it became the first fully animated film. When it came to naming his film, Cohl was inspired by the lanterns used to cast moving images onto the walls for 19th century stage plays. These images would move around as you turned the lantern, giving the appearance of giant, ghostly forms interacting with or chasing, sometimes, the audience or the cast. Defined in French, it means a constantly shifting, complex succession of things seen or imagined. I can't think of a better word to describe this masterpiece. Now, without further ado, I share with you Émile Cohl's masterpiece, the first fully animated film, Fantasmagorie. Well, today I just wanted to share something I love and think is really cool with you. and tell you a little bit more about it. Émile Cohl was definitely a pioneer in the early film industry. I'm not so naive as to think that without Émile Cohl, we wouldn't have the likes of Pixar, Sony Animation, DreamWorks, Disney, Leica Studios, Ghibli Studios, or any of those other great animation studios of today. But I do think he deserves great credit for being that early pioneer and for giving purely animated films their start. What did you think of Fantasmagorie? Pretty crazy, right? Let me know what you thought in the comments, and if you liked learning a little bit about film history, leave a like on this video. You can also subscribe if you want to be clued in to the next time I post a video. This year, I am refreshing this channel with new kinds of content, and I would love for you to join me on that journey. Anyways, I've got some work to do behind me, adding some pictures to my background. So until next time, play hard and watch on.